Portable firefighting equipment can reduce the risk of a small fire developing into a large one. The safe use of an appropriate fire extinguisher to control a fire in its early stages can also significantly reduce the risk to other people in the premises by allowing people to assist others who are at risk. In small premises, having 1 or 2 portable fire extinguishers of the appropriate type, ready and available for use, may be all that is necessary. In larger, more complex premises, a number of portable fire extinguishers may be required, and they should be sited in suitable locations, for example on the escape routes at each floor level. It may also be necessary to indicate the location of extinguishers by suitable signs. Some premises will also have permanently installed firefighting equipment such as hose reels for use by trained staff or firefighters. People with no training should not be expected to attempt to extinguish a fire. However, people should be familiar with the location and basic operation of the equipment provided in case they need to use it. If the fire strategy means that certain people, for example fire marshals, will be expected to take a more active role, then they should be provided with more comprehensive training. Fires are classed according to what is burning. Fire extinguishers provided should be appropriate to the classes of fire found in your premises. Typically, for the Class A fire risk, the provision of 1 water-based extinguisher for approximately every 200 square metres of floor space, with a minimum of 2 extinguishers per floor, will normally be adequate. Where it is determined that there are additionally other classes of fire risk, the appropriate type, number and size of extinguisher should be provided. Where the fire risk is not confined to a particular location, for example Class A fires, the fire extinguishers should be positioned on escape routes close to the exit from the room or floor or the final exit from the building. Where the fire risk is specifically located, for example flammable liquids, the appropriate fire extinguisher should be near to the hazard and located so that it can be safely used. They should be placed on a dedicated stand or hung on a wall at a convenient height so that people can easily lift them off, at about 1 metre for larger extinguishers, 1.5 metres for smaller ones, to the level of the handle. Ideally, no one should have to travel more than 30 metres to reach a fire extinguisher. If there is a risk of malicious use, you may need to use alternative and more secure locations. Where there are self-contained small premises, multi-purpose extinguishers which can cover a range of risks may be appropriate. Extinguishers manufactured to current standards are predominantly red, but may have a colour-coded area cited above or within the instructions denoting the type of extinguisher. Most older extinguishers manufactured to previous standards have bodies painted entirely in a single colour which denotes the type of extinguisher. These older extinguishers remain acceptable until they're no longer serviceable. However, it is good practice to ensure that old style and new style extinguishers are not mixed on the same floor of a building. Water extinguishers work by cooling and can only be used on Class A fires. They allow the user to direct water onto a fire from a considerable distance. A 9-litre water extinguisher can be quite heavy, and some water extinguishers with additives can achieve the same rating, although they are smaller and therefore considerably lighter. This type of extinguisher is not suitable for use on live electrical equipment. Foam extinguishers work by cooling, and with liquid fires the foam forms a barrier between the fuel and the flames. They can be used on Class A or B fires. Particularly suited to extinguishing liquid fires such as petrol and diesel. They should not be used on free-flowing liquid fires unless the operator has been specifically trained, as these have the potential to rapidly spread the fire to adjacent material. This type of extinguisher is not suitable for deep fat fryers or chip pans. Powder extinguishers work by forming a barrier between the fuel and the flames. They can be used on most classes of fire except Class F fires and achieve a good knockdown of the fire. They can be used on fires involving electrical equipment but will almost certainly render that equipment useless. Because they do not cool the fire appreciably, it can reignite. Powder extinguishers can create a loss of visibility and may affect people who have breathing problems and are not generally suitable for enclosed spaces. Carbon dioxide extinguishers work by driving out the oxygen, smothering the fire. Particularly suitable for fires involving electrical equipment, as they will extinguish a fire without causing any further damage, except in the case of some electronic equipment, for example computers. As with all fires involving electrical equipment, the power should be disconnected if possible. Wet chemical extinguishers work by forming a layer of foam on the surface of the burning oil or fat, preventing oxygen from fueling the fire any further. The spray also has a cooling effect. This type of extinguisher is particularly suitable for commercial catering establishments with deep fat fryers. Fire blankets should be located in the vicinity of the fire hazard they are to be used on, but in a position that can be safely accessed in the event of a fire. They are classified as either light duty or heavy duty. Light duty fire blankets are suitable for dealing with small fires in containers of cooking oils or fats and fires involving clothing. Heavy-duty fire blankets are for industrial use where there is a need for the blankets to resist penetration by molten materials. All portable fire extinguishers will require periodic inspection, maintenance and testing. Depending on local conditions such as the likelihood of vandalism or the environment where the extinguishers are located, carry out brief checks to ensure they remain serviceable. In normal conditions, a monthly check should be enough. Maintenance by a competent person should be carried out annually.